John.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? You okay?
Good. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. We got through sort of we've got through a lot of stuff together, and we just got through some sort of interesting behind the scenes audio issues, shall we call them?
yeah.
But not bad for a Sunday afternoon. So now we're
Yeah,
together, and let's dive straight in because we're diving into the diary with
yeah,
the original Fall Guy, John Cheetham.
yeah,
And my goodness me, John, we've got a little bit to catch up on in last week and this week. So I think I'm going to ask you to begin with.
yeah.
If you could check in, I'd say from Wednesday of last week, some of the events that took place. It was really effectively Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of last week.
Yeah.
Catch up with us on what happened last week, and then we'll jump into this coming week, please.
So we had a open mic night at the Leighton Institute on Thursday.
Yeah.
Great night. Lots of people there. Well supported. Well taken care of by the hosts. Great night overall. And then Friday, lots of phone calls. Saturday,
Let's pause a
we
minute. Let's just pause a
yeah,
minute. Sorry, John, because I know you're like me in terms of trying to catch up with with everything that's going on.
yeah.
And I think let's pause on Thursday for a moment, and then we're going to go back to Wednesday because some stuff happened on Wednesday too. But
There
Thursday,
was, but
let's
yeah,
stay. Let's
so
stay with
much went on
yeah,
that we
exactly. Let's stay
yeah.
with
So,
let's stay with Thursday
okay,
and the open mic, Leighton
yeah,
Institute open mic, hosted by the Astro Dog Band, Raphael and Peter, and we had performance of Dexter for
yeah,
Fall Guy the Guitar Bridge with video playing in the background of the videos that I've created.
yeah.
And as you've said already, it was an amazing night. There were some people there that have actually travelled quite a long way from the Midlands, from do you know what? I can't even remember where Eastbourne is now, but apart from on the coast, I can remember that much.
It's literally South Coast.
Yes, yeah. Travelled to be
Yeah,
there, and they had other things going on in the local area, but they actually took the time, Sam and Jackie, to come and join us at the open mic. We had some conversations. Do you want to kind of just share a little bit of that?
yeah. Some conversations. They're very, very interested in maybe re-recording one or two of our songs,
Beautifully put.
including a possibly a seasonal one that
Excellent.
we'll have more news about
Absolutely.
shortly. But yeah, they were really, really interested in re-recording one of the songs, and I believe they're that keen that they're actually going to do that next week.
Yeah, yeah. I think Thursday was the exact day. Well remembered.
Yeah,
And this is, we're sharing this for the benefit of others as a catch up as to what we're doing, what's going on behind the scenes effectively. But I think also for us.
yeah.
I've got,
We need it because we haven't since Wednesday. We've not really slowed down.
I've got the diary in front of me. I need it. So
Eamon Andrews has got his big red book out
that's
again.
it, the big red book. Brilliant. So now let's go back to the day before Thursday,
Yeah.
otherwise known as Wednesday. And what happened on Wednesday?
So we had a appointment interview at Salford Radio. Unfortunately, the lady that was doing that had to go to family with a
Mm,
problem.
mm.
Fingers crossed that things are getting resolved at her end.
Well, see.
However, the manager welcomed us in and did an on-the-spot interview,
Yeah.
which was amazing.
Yeah. And I'm going to, when I piece together what we're sharing here, I'm going to put just a little snippet of that in this week's diary. So
Right.
that kind of captures up on what happened last week. So well done. Then we went to...
Then we jumped in the car and we kind of swam over to Salford Lads Club. I mean, the rain on Wednesday was horrendous.
Yeah.
But we nearly had to have a canoe with us to get around Salford.
I'm getting
I can hear Hawaii 5-0 in my car.
I've got a feeling you'll get what I'm just about to say, and I can't share any more than this. I think our lives, Mr. John Cheetham, is becoming a little bit like trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah.
And you can chuck a boat in there as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that was Wednesday. We talked about Thursday. You've said there was, some messaging and stuff happening on Friday. Now talk about yesterday.
Yes.
And not the song. So not the song, yeah.
Early morning start. We drove over to a lovely area of Cheshire to do a podcast and to put our full guide story package in front of other people. And we've done that via the podcast. So we were in a professional studio for a good 3 hours doing that. And while we were there, we were receiving phone calls and messages from other people that we'd seen weeks ago that now want to see us again early in November.
I remember, great sum up again. I remember as we're recording the podcast, so we're doing an interview. We've done that several times before in different contexts. Your phone's going off, and it's playing The Boys Are Back in Town, yeah?
Yeah.
So that was brilliant, and it was a professional studio, as you said, Cheshire Podcast. Morgan really looked after us well, and an app which is called UPitch, and we had the opportunity to create a pitch video or pieces that are going to be edited to go in front of investors. And the name of the platform is UPitch. So I will be sharing, just so we both know and the audience know as well. The whole of that podcast, that's probably likely realistically going to be episode 3 or 4. This is episode 2. So already we're only 2 weeks into this diary, and we've got all of these incredible things happening, which is, take a breath, just take a breath for a moment. And I think we're actually there, John. In the edit of this video, I think I'm going to place something in there while you and I have a little sip and catch up on next week, what's happening next week. So we'll come back to that in a moment.
John, and I know you'll keep us updated when you can, but it's wonderful that all this great stuff's happening for you. It really is. Tell us about what we've not mentioned is the vinyl. You mentioned vinyl before.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the bridge, which for me is, as an outsider to John's experience, something John hasn't avoided. A way of coping with the experience would be, which would be perfectly understandable, by the way, is to try to bury it deep and not ever have to think about it again. And John doesn't. So he shares, obviously, what happened on the bridge and the after results of that. So creatively, this is just how my mind works, that I started thinking, there's something in this, in the illustration, the analogy of the bridge.
Yeah.
So I saw it as musically, we would start then creating connections. So currently we have a CD out, which is a bridge to the soundtrack of John Cheetham's life. So we've got 5 songs on there. And ultimately we're moving towards the vinyl, which is close to completion, where we have 12 tracks that are the soundtrack of John Cheetham's life. So in sharing that, everything connects. We've got a song out at the moment with incredible young guitarist in the Blackpool area, Dexter Briggs, 15. He's 15. I'm not even going to mention our ages, John, but that just automatically makes me feel old. I think you said Salford Boys is 120 years old.
Yeah.
And I nearly said earlier, that's me and you. That's mine and your ages combined. But Dexter has recorded a soundtrack version of Fall Guy, which is on the CD. It's also out digitally as well, and it's called Fall Guy, the Guitar Bridge.
Right.
So there was a snippet of the Salford City radio interview, which was incredible, as John said. Jill, amazing. I would have made sure across here there's bits and pieces of Salford Lads Club. Apologies, I did say on Salford City Radio, Salford Boys, but my brain was just spinning. I now know Salford Lads Club, so I knew that anyway, but I'd kind of just forgotten. Now, we're at the point, John, where we're looking at the diary ahead for the week ahead. So tell us what's coming up this week, please.
Okay, so we have got, I've got a meeting tomorrow where hopefully we arrange a date for another evening with the original Fall Guy. So that's tomorrow. Tuesday, as you said, we've got lunch at the beach house.
I said that off air, by the way. I just wanted to remind John that he said he's taken me for lunch.
So
Carry on.
That's a purpose behind that, which more will follow on that. Wednesday, studio in Warrington all day. Thursday, I'm going to see an investor, no names, on the Thursday. I'm back on Friday. And then, of course, we're into the next week before we know it.
Absolutely. Well done, John. Well done. And all of that, I think that's come up a couple of times. And from yesterday at Cheshire Podcast with Morgan and creating the pitch, the video pitch, it's all professionally done. And it's a platform, you pitch. It's professional, it's proper. So we're doing things behind the scenes to reach out to people to connect with us and to invest. And the reason for that is when you're creating a project to the scale that we are, and at the moment, we cannot share that voice note that we received yesterday at the moment, but we are going to be travelling back down south again. And it's another step towards the detail of the documentary. But of course, within that, we want as many people to be involved as possible. I want to emphasise at this point, John, because I've said this a couple of times already. I'll make it tangible. We do have a GoFundMe. So for the Fall Guy project, primarily at time of recording, this is to enable us to complete the soundtrack. And I want you to talk a little bit more about Wednesday in a moment, but we need support. That's it, simple as. So, and what we're enabling people to do is to receive, for example, a copy of the CD. So this is, we gave one to Morgan yesterday, and Morgan said, I don't have a CD player. And I said, well, it doesn't matter. I said, because you're actually holding in your hand John's life. And these are limited editions. We're not going to necessarily keep sharing this type of thing. But it's something tangible, it's something you can hold. And kind of rewinding back even further, I thought I had a copy. Of course, where it all began, Fall Guy the book.
Yeah.
So that's what people can do to find out more, because in a podcast, in a video that we did in episode 1, if people want to check back, if you haven't known John, haven't known what happened, check back to episode 1 because there's more detail there. But also order the book. Available on Amazon at the moment, or go to John's website, johncheethampoetry.co.uk, because all of that enables the things that we're doing to take place. But also, more accurately, it enables people to be involved in the finish and the finish line of what's happening. So tell us in detail, John, you're coming to the recording studio, we're going together. Tell me a little bit about what your role and your part is going to be in the recording studio.
Okay, so there's a couple of songs that between us has felt that it would be important to have my voice on there. So we're going purposely to do that. And then we are very, very close to that album being finished. Actually finished, not out on actually an album you can buy at the shops yet. That funding would help with that.
Absolutely.
But we will be very close to having the finished product, which is amazing.
And again, that's exactly it. The finished project, the tangible thing that people can hold in their hands, and vinyl's making a massive comeback. So even if people don't have a record player, I mean, we'll of course see how the journey takes us, but to begin with, we're going to have a certain amount of copies printed. That's where the GoFundMe comes into support. And I'll make sure there's links in the description. There'll be links going across for people to get involved, because then when they'll get to receive a copy of the vinyl. That will have certain requirements as to the donation amount to cover, but it all helps towards recording time, all of the finance basically that goes into producing a completed record. So we're going to be doing that. And also I want to emphasize, when I do these videos, I've got a piano behind me. So watch this space, because I'm going to be on the piano every day up to and including November the 9th. Okay, very important date to put in your diaries now, because this is not only our diary, this is your diary with the original Fall Guy John Cheetham, but put in November the 9th, HMV Blackpool. And what I'm going to say at the moment is, not only am I going to be singing with backing tracks, I'm also going to be performing on the piano, and some songs that maybe people haven't heard. So that's all I'm going to say at the moment, but that will grow over the next few weeks, as everything we're doing is. There's something else that's in my mind, but I can't think, but I'm going to say at this point, to stay with the journey and to stay with us and to keep with us and what's happening, which is a lot, subscribe. Comment on the videos. Last week's, the views have been really good, John, really good. People are watching, so that's fantastic. We want people to become involved. Let us know. Fall Guy the Guitar Bridge featuring Dexter, played on Salford City Radio, amazing. So grateful to Jill and the station for doing that. That was incredible to hear it played on the station. We will outro with that in a moment, but we know that's becoming more in so many different ways. The whole project and everything we're doing is growing. The thing that I'm trying to remember isn't coming to me, so therefore I don't think it can be of immediate need. Is there anything you can kind of think of to sort of tie up with closing the diary for this week?
I think we've covered everything. Just keep watching, folks, because this is getting bigger and bigger on a daily basis now. It's getting so big, it's surprising me. We were busy yesterday with that podcast in Cheshire, and we got that phone call that is so important, and we chose to listened to it on our way home because we were so busy being involved in other things. And yet that phone call is possibly a life-changing event.
Wow. So during the podcast yesterday, for different reasons, I said we'll take just a pause there, for the audience particularly. But I want to take a pause there for you and I.
Yeah.
And I want to take a pause there for you. You might not feel you need it, but I think what you've just said about life-changing, and that's how it should be, because what happened shouldn't have happened. And I think those involved, and without going into detail in that voice note, the incredible human being that left it also left very, very heartfelt feelings of understanding in the way they could how the experience was for you, and certain things that we may be doing in the future that are visiting places that you lived. And what I mean by that is experiences that you lived. So I think you're right, we'll leave it there, but I also think it's important for us to acknowledge at this moment in time the life-changing message that we received yesterday.
It was, within that there's certain things that could and would affect somebody else who doesn't deal with what happened to me in a different way.
Yeah.
And I've chose to make sure that event happens because it was part of Fall Guy.
Yeah.
It was a big, big part of what happened to me. So I felt on that moment that the people that made the phone call, have gone out of their way. So the least I can do is reciprocate. And doing that is a big mental health issue for me, but I'm willing to go through that to get the final result that we need.
And why is that, John? As well as the fact that they're doing what they're doing and the good grace they had to approach it in the way they did, why are you continually prepared? Because you are every time you face up to things. We did yesterday the podcast, it was in a basement.
Yeah.
And that was a challenge. That was a massive, massive challenge for you, to say the least. Why is it that you keep showing up?
To know the story.
Yeah.
It was hidden for so long, and it was hidden by authorities, by people in uniform that have authority, people that own media stations who have control, government ministers, high-flying individuals. They all chose to hide or try and hide the fact of what happened to me.
Yeah.
And because in my mind, I beat them, which is what I would say in one of the songs.
Yeah.
If a bullet is the best you can do, then I must feel sorry for you. So to get me back where I am now, in my mind, I beat them all.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to do that. We know who the individuals are. Certainly I do. And you do, of some of them. Names in the book changed.
Yeah.
But I know all the individuals.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep going with it until the world knows. Never mind these individuals.
Yeah.
They're going to be not embarrassed, far worse than that. They're going to realise that they were complicit in my life-changing event.
Yeah, and I want to leave it on a thought, John. I'm not trying to make light of. I'm not trying to make light of. I want to emphasise that because you know how I feel when we talk personally. Yeah. You know how I feel about your life and it being shared. We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah,
I've been with you. I've been with you in an automobile. I've been with you on a train.
Yeah.
I haven't been with you in a plane yet.
Coming soon.
Absolutely. So I think that's really, really good to catch up with you. Amazing. Watch this space. I know I've said it already. Subscribe, comment, like, all of the things that are the good things to do in YouTube. Click on the notify bell, share. Head to the description. Everything will be there, including a link to John's website. You can do a variety of different things. You can do order, read, Full Guy, John Cheetham's life. It's absolutely exceptional. You can download and stream music. We've got 4 songs released. We've also got a 5th song, which features Dexter, the guitar bridge of Full Guy. We've got a CD. You can visit my website, raycoatesvoice.com, and or John's website, johncheethampoetry.co.uk. And you can also support us to complete the soundtrack with a GoFundMe as well. Look forward to seeing you next week, John. And
thanks, Ray. And we'll be together next Tuesday, yeah?
Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to that meal at Beach House.
Great.
Cheers, John.
Thank you.
Down on terra firma ground, he can still hear the angels' amplified sound. There's no escape route to find. He's simply become the fall guy. to find. He's simply become the fall guy.
I am the fall guy.
Terra firma ground. He can still hear the angels' amplified sound. There's no escape route to find. He's simply become the fall guy.
I am the fall guy.